Why, hello there, Exile. So here's what I'm wearing in today's showcase. 2 of these replica last resorts. Then we just have some accuracy, a little bit of crafted life with some resists, some life, a little bit of accuracy resists, a thief's torment, a 5-link with decently high armor and some resists, no life on it, an Oscrum pair of, or a belt with life and some resists, some strength, and a pair of windbreak boots with no life on it and just a little bit of resists. And if we look at the passive skill tree here, we have no cluster jewels, no jewels whatsoever used. Gem setup, Ancestral Protector, Calling Strike, Hydrosphere, Clarity, Vitality with Arrogance, Cast when damage taken, Molten Shell, Determination, Petrified Blood, Lightning Strike, Nightblade, Added Cold, Elemental damage with attacks, Multi-Strike, Whirling Blades, Blood Rage, Grace, War Banner, Precision with Arrogance. Now we need to use Blood Rage to put our life down. Otherwise, because of these claws having deals no damage when not on low life, we do no damage at all. So do not forget to do that. You also want to reserve just a little bit less than half of your life. If you do that, then you will get Slayer Leech, which means you'll get Overleech. So it pulls up your leech, and then when you take damage, you get regen from that. Replica last resorts, as you can see here, were 16C the first day. I bought mine for 6C and 10C. And then Thief's Torment is 4C, and then Oscrum is about 2C. A quick look at the time machine for Scourge League. This was day 2. I had Osperentis, I had 2 Replica Last Resort Claws, I had a 6-link, and I had the boots, and I actually had the amulet, and I had my Oscrum. So I had way more than the gear that you're seeing right here at the end of day 2. I got it by farming Heist early on. I'll be doing a separate video showing you what I exactly did there so that you can do it to get this initial gear. And I think all of our bookkeeping is done. So let's demo this setup in some maps. I'm going to be demoing a tier 5, a tier 10, and a tier 16 here. So this is realistically what you'd want to play at on this budget, which is about a tier 5. Above that is going to be a little bit slower. I mean, you can push into it if you don't have any more gear, which we will show. I just probably wouldn't go past... Yeah, I wouldn't do this. I just wouldn't do it. By the time that you get all your tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, you probably should be able to upgrade this gear a little bit. Especially if you started with the farm of the heist and then you went into this. You should be able to, at minimum, get a couple of those translucent jewels or buy a 6-link or something like that so that your damage is a little bit better. Now, I'm going to actually just skip the ritual in this one, not because I can't do it, but more so because, well, we're going to show you a tier 10 and a tier 16, which I think more so indicates how strong the build is. But as you can see here, I'm not even using flasks, and we're not really in danger of dying. You can use an attack speed flask with onslaught if you so wish, and like a diamond flask, and that's going to completely up your damage. Or you can go with some defensive flasks as well, and it's going to up your defenses. Do we need more defenses right here? No, we actually kind of don't. And we have a cast when damage taken Molten Shell, so anytime we're taking some damage, it's just going on. Even if you have to try to die in a tier 5 with this setup, basically. You'd have to do some pretty silly stuff. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how is the boss damage? So we're dropping the Hydrosphere, and we have that for the pen, and we want to position like 3M away, and the bosses are dead. And I'm just giving you like raw, unedited footage here, just so you can see I'm not screwing around with the gear. And I unfortunately put my portal scrolls in my stash, so now we gotta go backtrack and do it. And I don't really want to ruin the authenticity of this like demo, so I guess you get to watch me try to find a portal scroll. Okay, we found portals. Okay. We're good. So we're nice and chill. Let's do the next one. By the way, this is Awakener level 8, so the bosses do have more HP, and as you can see, my completion was really high, so these are buffed quite a bit. The buffs from the next. All right, let's get into it. Now, an accuracy stacker, if you don't know and you haven't watched my other video, I highly recommend you watch my 2 other ones. One where on the 12 to 20x budget, I'm doing a Cirrus 8, and then I did some other showcasing explaining everything that you would want to know about the build and showcasing it through a lot of maps and a lot of gameplay, so you can really decide if you want to play this build. Do I care if you play this build? No. Actually, I hope that you're not going to play the build, because you're probably going to be competing with me for gear, so that kind of sucks for me. But you know what? I've decided that I don't care so much about how my league start goes. I just want you guys to have a good time, and that's what this whole channel is about. Just sharing stuff, having fun, goofing around, and that's what the stream's going to be about when we stream the league start. Me and Ellen are just going to screw around, chill, have some fun, you know, that sort of stuff. Man, that guy is tanky. What the heck? Why is he so tanky? Extra damage, enduring cry. Okay, I don't know. A lot of HP. All right. Rituals take too darn long to do. I'm just gonna not do them, I think. All right. Now, we do have the spike from Nightblade where we get a huge burst and then it kind of goes down and then huge burst. But on the bosses, we just wait for Nightblade to go off, and then we basically use both of our ball lightning strikes and get in really good burst onto the bosses. And eventually, when we have really, really good gear, we'll be able to just like kill the boss in 3 seconds before our elusive Nightblade thing decays. Right, we're almost done with this map. So as you can see, it's a little bit slower, but we could do this if we needed to on this budget without actually upgrading any gear. And we haven't really been in too much danger of dying other than when we open that box. All right, so this boss gives a lot of people trouble, and we're actually able to just face tank this whole part, which is really, really funny with the wolves. And you can see our damage it's pretty okay. We'd have lower HP if it was the real thing, because we have that Awakener 8 bonus for the 27%, so it would have been a faster kill. All right, and then let's get into our final showcase here, which is tier 16, and it's double boss, so hopefully I don't screw up on the boss thing. I did, before I recorded this, face tank one of these bosses solo, but I don't know if I could do 2 of them, so I'll probably embarrass myself. But, you know, it is what it is. Ooh, this exile's making me bleed, and bleed is the weakness. Yikes. We have no bleed removal, too. I would have that on a flask, but I wanted to just demo it with no flask, just so that you could see if you had flasks, you'd be significantly higher power level, like I said earlier. But even this, I mean, there's a lot of builds that need to kill the screen instantly or you're gonna die. But if you're just looking here, like, I'm not killing these instantly, and I'm not really in danger of dying. I just zoomed in there because I'm bad at the game. You guys don't believe me that I'm bad at the game, and that's why I play builds like this, and this is why you should follow me over other people, because I'm really bad, and if I could do the content on my builds, then you probably could do the content on my builds too. That's the most important part, not the DPS, not the other stuff, but that you actually could do stuff on my builds because I suck. I have no problem saying that I suck. I know that I suck. I play the game for fun. Okay? I'm not a top tier racer. It takes me time, but I'm able to get a lot of stuff done despite sucking, because what I lack in mechanics, I actually make up for in being able to plan, theory crafting, and stuff like that. That's what I'm good at. So if you're better than me mechanically, and I can do the content on my build, then you're definitely going to be able to do the content on the build. Look, we dropped the chaos. Look how easy it is to make money in this game. Easy peasy. All right. These leech life. It's Union Assaults. This is gonna take forever to kill, and people are gonna say 0 DPS, 0 DPS, 0 DPS in the thing. I already see it coming in the comment section. That's okay though. You know, let them play a high DPS build where they die every 2 seconds. I'm completely okay with that. You know, let them think it's a crap build, and it'll be more uniques for all of us. More cheaper uniques. Completely fine with that. Completely fine with that. And alright. And we got, of course, an exile here. And he shocked me and he, what, intimidated me? Okay. Okay. Easy there, bosses. Easy there. Let's clean up the trash. Alright. Now, I was able to face tank the last ones, but this is probably sketchy. Yeah, look at my... Oh, that was close. Look at my life on the bottom. So if you see that thing filling up on the bottom, that's the damage I still have to take from my petrified blood, and it's basically getting more and more filled relative to my regen. So it's yo-yoing, so I can't actually just stand here and face tank with 2 bosses. But, I mean, like, this is pretty good. I could live with this. I could live with this. You know, I would be happy if I'm at this budget to be able to just do tier 16s like this, even if it's a little bit sketchy with a double boss. I just wouldn't roll double boss. Or with my flasks, I would do more damage, or I would take less damage. I could use triple elemental flasks so that I'd take less damage. Easy peasy. Okay, they're also shocking me, it looks like, for 23%. So I do not have a shock removal flask. That's probably part of the problem as well. So I would have that on my flask, probably a shock removal, a reduce on the curses, and we're just going to go around here. And okay, we got to move so that we can regen. Man, this is just really a bad idea for me to do double boss. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I could get done. Oh, okay. Well, delete the video. Shit build. 0 DPS. We can't live. Well, it was nice knowing you guys. Probably deleting the YouTube channel. Just kidding. You know, it happens. This is a showcase. I still think it's really solid on this stuff. I guess this is a good excuse for me to just showcase how quick the build is. So we have to run through the entire map, and so this is how you move. You just whirling blades through the whole freaking map like this. And actually, we should be equipping the life tap support with it, which I did not do here because we're running out of mana, and then we can actually dash quicker. So I need to remind myself to do that at league start, but we're getting there. As you get more attack speed, you can move quicker here, so yeah, no problem. All right, let's clean it up. Let's try to focus down that other one. The nice thing about this build also is if you cannot tank it, you could just like range them. You could take out what I am using point blank, just take point blank out and just off screen them. If you can't do content, no problem. No shame in that at all. Okay, and see with one of them, we're pretty much able to mostly face tank this. I'm pretty happy here with this. Most builds would be dying here. They either need to kill it, they can't live, and we're doing a pretty good job. We do have to kite around a little bit just because we're shocked, and we would have just made 16C or 20C there. Nice. So you're probably wondering, where does the damage come from an accuracy stacker? So let's tell you about that really quick. So you essentially get attack speed from your ascendancy per accuracy. You get crit chance per accuracy from Oscurum gloves. You get percent damage from obscurantis and divergent additional accuracy. And then you get flat lightning damage from either windbreak boots or storm rider boots. Now, we don't have the divergent and the obscurantis in the build yet, so we'll get tons of damage when we add both of those in. We're level 94 here, so this is a level 83 skill tree basically. So I want to just point out some of the stuff that I grabbed for the council players and people who do not have POB. Of course, I'll be provided this POB. So we grab fortification with melee hits fortify. We have tribal fury, gives an extra hit that allows us to hit 2 times. We grab +2 max all res, and corrupting blood cannot be inflicted on us. This is an accuracy node. Then we traveled over to here. We have accuracy with resists here. We have point blank. This is crit multi for dual wielding, crit multi. This is for projectile skills. So it applies to both the melee and the projectile. That's good. And then we have herbalism over here. That's just some life. We picked up 50 life. We have accuracy here. We have survivalist, and we grabbed grace reduction. Then we traveled over to here because we need these projectiles because we do not have the pierce through projectiles on the helm. Then we have increased mana reservation, efficacy of skills, efficiency of skills, and charisma. And then we have this dagger node just so that we can grab from the shadows, which is elusive effect, and elusive grants multi with Nightblade. And then we have Nightblade gives 40% increased effect. These are crit multi nodes. We have 30% accuracy if you haven't killed recently, which helps with bosses. And then this is crit and accuracy here. We have life leech. We have life gain on kill with some life. And that's really all there is to it. Now, we can get more damage if we put in more points. We would grab this because it gives 10 pen. If you pick up this, which gives you effect of non-damaging ailments, that's going to make your shock greater. So grabbing those 5 points with that is going to help your damage quite a bit. I don't think there's a whole lot you need to know here. I do not have 100% spell suppression on this setup like I did my other one because we're pretty low level. And this is pretty trash gear that we have. Okay, really quickly, I want to just show you guys this. If we pick up these jewel slots and use these transcendent spirits, we put them in these locations. We go from 91 to 141, which is like a 55% more multiplier. And you can get those by upgrading jewels from the temple. And I'll have a video on how to do that yourself. You don't have to overpay for these. Anyways, if you do want to give it a league start, get some flasks, farm out this, and you're going to be in a really good spot.